Vitoria-Gasteiz is the capital city of the Basque Autonomous Community and of the province of Álava in northern Spain. It holds the Autonomous Community's House of Parliament, the headquarters of the government, and the Lehendakari's official residency. The municipality, which comprises not only the city but also the mainly agricultural lands of 63 villages around, is the largest in the Basque Autonomous Community, with a total area of 276.81 square kilometers, and it has a population of 242,082 people. The dwellers of Vitoria-Gasteiz are called Vitorianos or Gasteiztarek, while traditionally they are dubbed Babazoris. Vitoria-Gasteiz is a multicultural city with strengths in the arts, commerce, education, healthcare, architectural conservation, aeronautics, vehicle industry, enology and gastronomy. It is the first Spanish municipality to be awarded the title of European Green Capital, and it is consistently ranked as one of the 5 best places to live in Spain. The Old Town holds some of the best preserved medieval streets and plazas in the region, and it is one of very few cities to hold 2 cathedrals. Vitoria-Gasteiz's vicinity is home to world-renowned wineries such as Ysios and Marques de Riscal, relevant heritage sites including the Neolithic remains of Azcomendi, Sorgonex and La Chabela de la Hecasera, Iron Age remains such as the settlement of Lastra and the settlement of Baradan, antique remains such as the settlement of La Joya in the Salt Valley of Anana, and countless medieval fortresses such as the Tower of Mendoza and the Tower of Arona. Beethoven dedicated his Opus 91, often called the Battle of Vitoria, or Wellington's Victory, to one of the most notorious historical events of the Napoleonic Wars, the Battle of Vitoria, in which a Spanish, Portuguese and British army under the command of General the Marquis of Wellington broke the French army and nearly captured Joseph Bonaparte. It was a pivotal point in the Peninsular War, eventually leading to the defeat of Bonaparte. A memorial statue can be seen today in Virgin Blanca Square. History. In 581 AD, the Visigoth king Liudgild founded the city of Vitoria-Cum, trying to emulate the Roman foundations, as a celebration of the victory against the Vascones near what is assumed to be the hill occupied by the primitive village of Gasteiz. This, however, is not sufficiently proven, and some historians and experts believe that Vitoria-Cum was located not on the site of present-day Vitoria-Gasteiz but nearby. Several possible locations have been proposed, the foremost of which is the late Roman military camp of Iruna Velea. Velea is located some 11 kilometers north of modern Vitoria, on the banks of the same river. However, modern archaeological studies of the site suggest that Velea was last inhabited c. 5th century AD, and archaeologists are still to find a 6th century Visigothic resettlement in the site. Another theory has suggested that Vitoria-Cum was located at the foot of Mount Gorby, where there is a village called Vitoriano. However, there is enough evidence to suggest that Vitoriano is the old city of Vitoriano, which King Liudgild helped fortify in 574 AD against the neighboring Vasconic tribes. The town of Armentia, nowadays in the outskirts of Vitoria, has also been proposed as a possible location of Vitoria-Cum. In either case, Vitoria-Cum vanishes from history shortly after its foundation. In 1181, Sancho the Wise, King of Navarre, founded the town of Nova Victoria as a defensive outpost on top of a hill at the site of the previous settlement of Gasteiz. The existence of Gasteiz, apparently inhabited by Vasconic people, can be traced back to the Lower Middle Ages. It is certain that by the 11th century, prior to the foundation of Nova Victoria, the settlement was already walled. It is assumed that Sancho the Wise gave the new city its name in memory of the old settlement of Vitoria-Cum, which must have long since been abandoned. In 1199, the town was besieged and captured by the troops of Alfonso VIII of Castile, who annexed the town to the Kingdom of Castile. The town was progressively enlarged, and in 1431 it was granted a city charter by King Juan II of Castile. In 1463, it was one of the 5 founding villas of the Brotherhood of Alava alongside Sarjazara, Miranda de Ebro, Pancorbo and Salvatierra, Agurain. The Battle of Vitoria of the Peninsular War occurred near Vitoria-Gasteiz along the river Zadara on 21 June 1813. An allied British, Portuguese, and Spanish army under General the Marquis of Wellington broke the French army under Joseph Bonaparte and Marshal Jean-Baptiste Jourdan. The victory assured the eventual end of French control in Spain. There is a monument commemorating this battle in the main square of the city known as the Monument to Independence. When news came to Vienna in late July of that year, Johann Nepomuk Malza commissioned Ludwig van Beethoven to compose a symphony, the Op. 91 Wellington's Sieg oder die Schlacht bei Vitoria or Sieger Symphonie. Work began on the Institute for Middle Education in 1843, with classes beginning during the 1853-54 academic year. It is now current headquarters of the Basque Parliament and formerly the Convent of Santa Clara. The Free University opened in the wake of the Revolution of 1868. The university operated from 1869 to just prior to the 1873-1874 term, largely because of the Second Carlist War. Chief academics were Ricardo Becerro de Benga, Julian Aprise, Federico Baraiba, and so on. This latter, great Hellenist, was also among the first teachers of Basque in Vitoria-Gasteiz as an off-syllabus subject. During the Spanish transition to democracy, the Church of St. Francis of Assisi was the scene of the March 3 killing of 1976 after clashes between police and striking workers. Under the orders of Interior Minister Manuel Fraga, the police stormed on a shooting spree into a packed church into which demonstrators had retreated, resulting in 5 dead and over 100 wounded. Climate. In spite of the relative distance to the Bay of Biscay, the maritime influence is strong enough to ensure that Vitoria-Gasteiz has an oceanic climate under the Köppen climate classification, typical of the Basque Country. Winters are much cooler than in lowland coastal areas, whilst summers are similar in terms of high temperatures, with cool nights due to the elevation. Summers show a significant influence of Mediterranean precipitation patterns, but enough precipitation usually occurs to remain marine in nature. Sunshine levels are low by Spanish standards and the climate is humid year-round. Attractions. Cathedral of Santa Maria, a 14th-century Gothic building with a 17th-century tower. Under the portico are 3 open doorways decorated with statues and reliefs. In the interior, chapels containing Gothic, Flemish and Italian Renaissance images including paintings by Rubens and Van Dyck. The cathedral is undergoing restoration and has been studied by experts from around the world for its architectural curiosities, including those deformations which it has suffered due to previous restorations. Cathedral of Mary Immaculate, built and consecrated in the 20th century, in High Gothic style. André Maria Zuriara en Paranza, Plaza de la Virgen Blanca. It is a square to which converge some of the most typical streets of the Old Town and the 19th century city expansion and is surrounded by old houses, with glass verandas. At its center stands a monument commemorating the Battle of Vitoria. Diocesan Museum of Sacred Art of Alava, located in the building's ambulatory, houses samples of religious art heritage of the province, divided into sections of stone carving, wood carving, painting on wood, paint on canvas, jewelry and furniture. Liturgical. Church of St. Peter the Apostle in Gothic style. The old portico, with a set of reliefs depicting scenes from the lives of St. Peter and the Virgin Mary, run under the pictures of the Virgin and the Apostles. Church of St. Michael the Archangel, in Gothic Renaissance style. Its portico has an image of the Virgin Blanca, patron saint of the city. Inside is an altarpiece by Gregorio Fernandez. Church of San Vicente Martir, a late Gothic building from the 15th and 16th centuries. Church of the Carmen, a neoclassical temple built between 1897 and 1900. Basilica of San Prudencio. Its original construction dates to the 12th century, but it was rebuilt in the 18th century. The temple houses sculptural samples from different eras and artists. Romanesque Sanctuary of Our Lady of Estabilis, located in the town of Argandona, 8 kilometers from Vitoria-Gasteiz. It dates to the 11th century. Convent of St. Anthony, a Clares nunnery from the 17th century. Convent of Santa Cruz, Dominican nunnery from the 17th century. Former hospice, originally the Colegio de San Prudencio. Old portico, Church of San Pedro. Casa del Cordon, an example of civil Gothic architecture. It was built in the 15th century, but has kept a tower from the 13th century. The Catholic monarchs stayed here, and Adrian VI was named Pope while residing here. Basque Museum of Contemporary Art. Its permanent collection is considered one of the best and most important contemporary art in Basque and Spanish. It was inaugurated on April 26, 2002. Museum of Natural Sciences, located in the Tower of Haute Zanda Andrea, an example of medieval architecture. It is also a center for research and dissemination of natural sciences. Museum of Archaeology, located in a house of wood lattice from the 16th century. The exhibition includes dolmens, Roman sculptures found in Alava, and medieval pieces. Fornia Museum of Playing Cards, in the Bendana Palace. Vitoria-Gasteiz is known for the manufacture of playing cards. More than 6,000 cards are displayed in the museum. Museum of Fine Arts, housed in a Renaissance mansion. It displays 14th-century carvings, Flemish 16th-century triptychs, panels of Spanish masters such as Giuseppe de Ribera and modern Spanish paintings. Arms Museum of Alava is home to weapons from various ages, from prehistoric axes to 20th-century handguns. There is a large collection of medieval weaponry and reconstruction of the Battle of Vitoria. Monte Hermoso Cultural Center, housed in restored 16th-century buildings, formerly headquarters of the Diocese of Vitoria. In 1997, with the annexation of the former water tank, the property became the Monte Hermoso Cultural Center, designed as a space for art exhibitions and musical performances. Plaza de España or Plaza Nueva, a large arcaded plaza designed by the architect Antonio de Olegabal in 1781 and designed to unite the old town with the new story, then under construction. The Arcupper, Arquilos. This road was built with porticos between the 18th and 19th centuries. Ajuria Inia, the seat of President of the Basque government since 1980. It was built in 1918 as the main residence of the family of the local entrepreneur Serafin Ajuria, and it is a fine example of the Basque architecture of the period. Ateria, an information and interpretation center for the wetlands of Salbrua, an important nature park on the eastern edge of the city. The Great Sequoia, a 40-meter tall tree dating back to 1860. Economy and demographics. The economy of Vitoria-Gasteiz is diverse, and many manufacturing companies have operations there, including Mercedes-Benz, Michelin, Gamesa, and Heraclea, the latter being headquartered there. The city has been ranked second in standard of living among all cities in Spain, and first as to green areas and cultural places per capita. Culture. Music. Vitoria-Gasteiz hosts 2 annual international music festivals. The International Music Festival, Course Vitoria-Gasteiz, from 18 to the 27th of July. The Vitoria-Gasteiz Jazz Festival from 10 to the 16th of July. The Azkina Rock Festival, on 29 and the 30th of June. Local festivities. The Andre Maria Zuria and Jayac Fiestas de la Virgen Blanca Festival is celebrated every year from the 4th to the 9th of August in honor of the patron saint of the city, and features a program of special events, activities and free open-air concerts. Universities. The liberal arts section of the University of the Basque Country is based in the south part of the city, focusing on history and linguistics. The Álava campus is also home of the Faculty of Pharmacy, as well as some other technical, teaching and business-related degrees. Its origins date back to 1847, when the first Escuela Normal de Maestros de Álava was established. A number of other colleges and faculties were adopted in 1978 by the emerging University of the Basque Country.